Hey guys, it's Vanessa and welcome back to my channel. Do you remember how exciting it was that first day of school, that first week of school? Well, today I'm sharing with you some back to school breakfast ideas that are guaranteed to fill those tummies and get your kids excited about going back to school. This is the first in a three-part series all about back to school breakfast, lunch, and snacks. This is a collaboration with three incredible YouTube mamas. Kayla from the Unmodern Millennial does amazing grocery budgets and amazing what's for dinners. We have Caitlin over at Living That Mama Life. Let me tell you, everything is so calming and relaxing when you watch her recipes and her what's for dinners. And also, of course, Julia. Her channel is incredible. What's for dinners, great recipes like pizzookies. I mean, come on, you guys. So definitely check them out. All three may not participate in every video, but absolutely go check them out. Let them know I sent you. No, you're not dreaming. Donut pancakes are first on the list. Just grab your favorite pancake mix, whether it's scratch or from a bag. For me, it's Krusteaz from Costco. It's just always consistent. I am replacing the measurements of water with milk though. I do find it can give it a more cakey consistency and just a better texture overall, especially when making these donuts. Now I just keep adjusting the milk in the mixture until I get roughly this consistency. You will need a donut pan for this recipe and you'll want to spray it either with this canola oil spray or just grease it down with some butter. Now I'm using an ice cream scoop. I just find this the easiest. Now you can see the consistency of my batter is a little bit thick, and that's just because I wanted to be able to control the way it went into the donut pan. So I'm just using the end of a wooden spoon to spread it out and create an even circle. And I'll repeat that for all of my tins and also make sure that the center is left clear, just to make sure we get that cute little donut look. And now it's time to decorate them. I like to add the toppings after the fact. That way I get to have all different kinds of donuts. If you just wanted to do all chocolate chip, you could of course just add it to the batter. I chose blueberries and M&Ms and chocolate chips and sprinkles. And then I also discovered some frozen raspberries. So if you wanted to use frozen fruit in these, that works out really well too. Of course, this would be a really fun first day of school activity for your kids to set up a little station for them to decorate their own pancake donuts. Anything goes here, guys. There's no rules. These are going to bake at around 350 for about 15 minutes, and this is a Pinterest recipe, so don't worry, I will link it down below. Now here's how Belle likes to eat her pancake donuts, with a little bit of whipped cream and a little container of maple syrup on the side to dip it in. These are good fresh and hot right out of the oven, and they're also good cold or room temperature, so sending them in the kids' lunches would work amazing as well, especially in a bento box with a little bit of syrup. These will be a massive hit. All right, you guys, smoothies are an excellent way to sneak fruits and vegetables into your kids if they are fussy eaters. In my house, my daughter is the fussy one, so I love to make smoothies to sneak spinach and other fruits in there that she might typically not eat. We just like yogurt and orange juice in ours, and I have these smoothie packs that I had prepped in one of my food prep videos a few weeks ago, which I will be sure to link below. Now, a gauge for me when I make my smoothie packs is about 2 tablespoons of yogurt per every pack and 3/4 cup of orange juice. Now, one pack could have fed 2 of my kids in this house, but I went ahead and doubled it up because there was going to be a few of us having it on this day. So I'm going to go ahead and add the liquids, and then I will dump the fruits right on top. I like making them in a big enough baggie because it's good to break up your fruit before you pour it into the blender to make sure that it blends up really easily. Though I will say this Ninja blender is absolutely incredible. You guys know I rave about my Ninja Foodie, but this blender is amazing. It has the height when it comes to the blades, and it crushes everything in no time and makes it a delicious smoothie. This is just the right consistency for my kids. They love to go at it with a spoon, so this makes them happy. I wanted to show you some healthy options you could throw in your smoothies as well. Ground flaxseed is really ideal. You don't want it whole because your body can't digest it very well. Also, hemp hearts are great. You can get these at Costco if you really like them. And some agave syrup, which is just a natural sweetener if you feel like that's something you need in your smoothies. We don't typically add any sweeteners, but these are definitely some alternatives. And here you have it, guys. You can also get a plastic cup with containers and send these to school with the kids, but they are always a huge hit in my house. I mean, what's not to love about frozen fruit and orange juice? I felt motivated by my donut pan and I thought, let's cook eggs in there. So here we go. That's what we're doing. All I'm going to do is mix these eggs up like I would if I were making scrambled eggs. Now, if you follow me or you follow Jessica O'Donoghue, you know that sour cream are a must in scrambled eggs. They are delicious. Trust me, you won't regret it. I'm also going to shred up some cheddar cheese, but I wanted to show you some alternatives. You could also add some feta or some parm. That would be really, really good. Or some crushed chives. What I'm going to be going for today is just these crumbled bacon, and I'm going to chop up some scallions. I usually use chives, but I was really feeling the fresh onions today. I'm going to go ahead and crack 4 eggs into a bowl. Now, in retrospect, I probably could have gotten away with 3. I ended up having a little extra batter, which is why we ended up with some omelet muffins as well. So I'm going to add these eggs. Now, with the milk, I've done it. It's usually 1, 2, 3, 4. That's literally how I measure my milk to my egg ratio. I know, so scientific. I'm also going to add about 2 tablespoons of sour cream and then give it a good mix with my fork. It's funny because I thought, why are you using a fork? You have 3 whisks in this house, but growing up, we never owned a whisk. So I just always learned how to use a fork. And honestly, I think it works better for me because it's just what I'm used to using. Once my eggs are really well whisked or blended together with my fork, I'm going to add a good handful of cheddar cheese. You can add as much or as little as you'd like, and the 1 scallion that I chopped up. The one thing that I forgot to show here was I'm going to add some everything but the bagel seasoning, which you will see in a few seconds, and I will add the bacon to the tin once I pour the mixture. You're going to want to make sure that you spray them down pretty well, just so that you don't have any issues with sticking. I Ideally, you would put this into a bowl with a spout like this one. It just makes it much easier for pouring into the donut rings. And I'm gonna go ahead and fill them till about half or 3/4 of the way. Free to add whatever toppings you like. This is just kind of what we would like if I was going to make an omelet. And I'm going to go ahead and add some black pepper. If you had white pepper and you wanted it to be more aesthetic, you could certainly do that. I'm going to go ahead and pop these in the oven at around 350, and these took no time at all. If you're doing the muffins, they're a lot thicker, so these only took about 13 minutes, whereas these here that you're seeing took closer to 15 or 16 minutes. These little egg muffins, or egg bites if you want to call them that, were perfect. My stepdaughter topped it with some salsa. She said they were delicious. These would be great just to have ready in the fridge for your kids to pop in the microwave to eat in the morning during the weeks, especially if you have teenagers like I do. I also have young kids. So when I discovered what I could do with these little mini omelet rings, they were super excited. I served mine up just with some cheese and some salsa fresh out of the oven. You guys, they were super yummy. And then when I discovered mini bagels, breakfast sandwiches, let me tell you, my heart was smiling like there's no tomorrow. Toast up one of these bagels, throw anything on there. If you want to add some breakfast meats like sausage or bacon or ham, that would be perfect. We didn't have any on this day, so egg and cheese would have to do. Here's the one I've been super excited to show you guys. If you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and check it out. I share little sneak peeks like this when I have really exciting recipes coming. Pecan crescent rings. You guys, I found this recipe on Pinterest and I thought, we're gonna do it. First, we're going to need the filling. All I did was chop up a bunch of pecans. I had this huge bag from Costco, and this was the perfect recipe to use it up. I will link this recipe down below. I'm just going to go ahead and add some milk. If you had a saucepan, that would work, but I have this smaller kind of rock frying pan. Nothing ever sticks to it, so whenever I'm using milk or anything, I like to use this pan. It just makes me feel better. I'm going to add some brown sugar, some vanilla, cinnamon, and you guys, I'm gonna add some of the most delicious maple syrup on the planet, mainly because it's from my family's land here in New Brunswick, and they harvested this syrup all on their own, and maybe I'm a little bit proud. You're going to want to heat this on a medium heat until the sugar is melted and it's all combined. You're going to want to remove this right from the heat and let it cool completely before using it with your crescent rolls. This, you guys, would be amazing over oatmeal. So 2 for 1 here. Make some plain oatmeal and spoon this over top. I couldn't. I might have stolen a bite, let's confess. All right, Vanessa, meet your nemesis, crescent dough. You guys, I make pastry. I deal with this stuff. I used to make cookies professionally. I am not friends with crescent dough. It's sticking to my rolling pin. It is the hottest it's been on the East Coast in Canada in a long time, and we're just making it work. If you could find the dough or the big sheet of crescent dough, definitely do that. The idea is to pinch all the seams together, make one base, spread out your toppings over top of it, and use the other one, which I did out on the parchment paper, and lay it flat over top and cut it into 8 strips and twist them into rings. It's supposed to be that simple. I made it work, you guys, but it was interesting, and in retrospect, I shouldn't have used a paring knife on my counter. I did not cut my counter, but it kind of stopped me from being able to really get at it. All I'm doing to twist them is taking one end, twisting it in one direction, and the other, twisting it in the opposite direction, and bringing them together right on my pan. It's a little bit messy, but you'll see the end result was beautiful, beautiful. The one thing I will say about these is they cook at 375 and the recipe said 15 to 20 minutes. I would cook them as long as you can. You may need aluminum foil to prevent them from burning, but that's the thing about crescent dough. It can feel a little bit soggy if you don't cook it long enough. Here, I'm just preparing a very simple maple butter glaze that you're gonna brush over top of your crescent rings when they come out of the oven. Basically, it's a couple tablespoons of butter to 4 tablespoons of maple syrup. So 2-to-1 ratio syrup and butter. Heating this up till it combines and then letting it sit for a minute before you brush it on top of your crescents. Here they are, fresh out of the oven. You guys, looking at this again is making me want to eat one, and I may have to go make some more. Here they are. I ended up with 8 delicious looking crescent rings. Well, 2 of them are like cinnamon rolls. I went ahead and transferred my syrup into this little dish, and I'm just gonna spoon it over each ring. Now, if you had a brush, that would be perfect as well. I couldn't find mine, and well, I made do with what I had. Now, in my opinion, these were better when they had a few hours to sit and everything got absorbed and they settled in. These would be perfect to make the night before school to have in the morning for everyone to devour, or even to make up that mixture for your oatmeal.
Listen to the midnight radio.
And there you have it, a few ideas to hopefully make back to school a little extra special this year. And be sure that you check out the other ladies' channels down below, and any videos for this collab I will link as well. Remember, next Wednesday, we're doing snacks, and the Wednesday after that are lunch ideas. All right, I'll see all of you guys in my next video. Take care.